Who has to do welcoming today?
Mataji, I'm doing Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Harita.
So should I start Mataji now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mataji. So welcome to Bhakti Sangha Group. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदिक और भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Haritha from Texas, welcoming all of you to today's mid-morning japa session. I thank all of you for attending this session. So let us move to our next session. That will be the sacred vows of Margasirsha. The class will be given by His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji. So may I know who all have joined the call, please?
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasni Devidasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Mataji, for your warm welcoming, and thank you, dear Vardhana Mataji, for the very beautiful recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining today's call and giving your association, Mataji. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji, and thank you very much for giving your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If anyone wants to introduce themselves, please go ahead. Hare Krishna. I once again welcome all of you to Bhakti Sangha Japa group for today's mid-morning session. So today's mid-morning session is on the topic, the sacred vow of Margasirsha. It is 32 verse, and I would like to welcome His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please welcome to the call and thank you for giving your association and valuable time today to explain us on this topic. Before handing over the call to you, I would just like to read the quote by Srila Prabhupada. So it's October 16th. What is this comfort of the skyscraper building? I think it is a mechanical prison. Johannesburg, October 16th, 1975. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please take over the call, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Is it good enough? Okay. Thank you, Mataji, for confirming that. I welcome all the devotees to Bhakti Sangha Japa group call today. And I'm very, very glad that all the devotees are wonderfully performing their Kartik Vratas. And they have taken out time today to hear about Krishna. And we are seeing quite often in the last few weeks how we have been navigating through this wonderful work of Andal, which is known as Tirupavai. It's been almost 1 year, and here we are in the last 5 verses of Tirupavai. And these 5 verses, when we finish, it seems like we would have again entered Margashish. So this is a divine providence. It was not planned so. And time again, I have seen that Krishna and Andal's mercy is in such a way that every day that we take a verse, it is very appropriate for the time that we are in. So today's verse is a very, very wonderful verse. Is verse number 25. And with this, we enter into the last section of Tirupavai. So without further ado, let us start today's lecture. First, let us offer our humble obeisances unto Srila Prabhupada. Before offering Mangalacharan, I would like to just meditate upon the thought which was Srila Prabhupada's thought today. What is the use of this magnanimous skyscrapers? And Srila Prabhupada thinks this is very much like a mechanical prison. In many ways, I was thinking about this. I am coming from a city which is known for the world's biggest skyscraper in Dubai, known as the Burj Khalifa. And of course, from Prabhupada's vision, it's just a mechanical prison. And today's verse is also starting from a prison. So in many ways, we see that the lecture series that we plan, but there is Krishna's plan in many which ways. And Srila Prabhupada's quote is very apt for today and today's verse. And it has been like that for many weeks now. So this is a divine providence. And I would like to take this as Srila Prabhupada's blessings on this work and this talk. And with that, we like to offer our Mangalacharan to none other than Srila Prabhupada and all the Paramparas and the Acharyas. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanuste Devi Purnamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminate Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Picharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat Neela Tungastanagiri Tati Suptamudbhodhya Krishnam Pararthyam Swam Shruti Sarasirasa Siddham Adhyapayanti Sochistayam Shaji Nigalitam Ya Bhalakritya Bhungte Goda Tasya Inama Idam Bhuya Evastu Bhuyaha. We welcome all the devotees to this August gathering of Bhakti Sangha Japa group, where we are systematically every week, we are learning each verse of Tirupavai, a very wonderful work from the southern part of India, known as Srivilliputtur, where Andal has given this, Goda Devi or Andal has given this magnanimous work of 30 verses in the language of Tamil, which is glorifying and walking in the footsteps of the gopis of Vrindavan. Specifically, they executed the vow of taking bath in the Yamuna river in the month of Margasirsha. Of course, we are in the Kartik Damodara month now, and the next month that will come, it will be the Margasirsha month in December. So, it is very apt that we are discussing this topic. A quick recap. We saw that how the gopis had woken up all their friends, assembled, woken up the great keepers, woken up Nand Maharaj, Yashoda Maiya, Balram woken up. They had awakened Napinnai. And in verse number 20, they did the Suprabhata prayers for Lord Krishna. And in the next verse, they requested Krishna to open his eyes. And Krishna had opened his eyes. And then they requested Krishna to wake up and walk his way to the assembly hall so that they could make their plea, they could make their request. Krishna was very awestruck, wonderstruck, and happy to see all the 5 lakh gopis in his arena, in his bedroom. And in order to hear their plea, he immediately walked from the bedroom to the royal assembly hall. And immediately he sat down on the Simhasana. He sat down on the throne and he was asking, "Why have you come? What is the reason that you have woken up so early in the morning, fighting the dew, fighting the cold, fighting all the odds? You all have woken up and come to me and wanted to wake me up and request something. What is your request?" Andal was about to place her request. But before that, when she was about to do it, she saw the lotus feet of Krishna, which was reddened because of the walk. And she started glorifying the lotus feet. She started glorifying Krishna. And she started apologizing for requesting him to walk all the way. Now, this is pure love. This is pure interest on a singular person who is none other than Krishna. And the gopis were very, very aggrieved to see that Krishna had executed their order of walking from the bedroom to all the way to the assembly hall. Nevertheless, Krishna was very pleased. Krishna still asked this question. So today, in the 25th verse, Krishna asked the question, "Why have you walked? Why have you come against all the odds, bracing the cold, bracing the dewy winter? And though people were against you to come outside, you have braced those dangers and still you are right in front of me. What is the reason for your appearance? What is the reason for you all coming together to me?" Now, Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead and he is the super soul in everybody's heart. He knows completely why Andal is there present before him along with all the gopis. However, Krishna still wants to hear from his devotees the reason. And that is when Andal says, "I will tell the reason not today. I will tell the reason in 26th onwards. The last 5 verses, I will give you an entire list." Now, one might be thinking, "Prabhuji, this is too much. For the last 1 year, we have been listening that she is gathering, she is coming, she wants to talk to Krishna, she wants to speak to Krishna, want to put forward her interest to Krishna, want to put forward her desire to Krishna. Now Krishna is asking directly after 25 verses out of 30 verses. And still she is not placing her desire very openly right now. She is keeping it for the end. So the climax is at the end. So she knows how to present her case before Krishna. Not only that, this is the etiquette of asking something to Krishna. Before we ask something to Krishna, it is very, very necessary that we glorify the Lord sufficiently. Now the Lord has woken up. Of course, she has been glorifying Krishna all throughout, but not Krishna is now present right in front of her. So she believes that it is time to glorify Krishna and glorify him in such a way that remind him that he is a very, very special person. He is not an ordinary person. And because they want him, so that is the reason why she is trying to glorify Krishna. And hence in today's verse, she will glorify Krishna abundantly. With her full satisfaction, she would glorify Krishna. So without further ado, let us see today's verse, a very, very magnanimous verse, a verse which is very, very close to everybody's heart in the southern part of India. Of course, the descriptions of this verse is so that every Krishna conscious devotee absolutely loves this part of the pastime. So, what is that pastime? It's Krishna's appearance and pastimes in Vrindavan. Whole Kartik Mahina, the whole Kartik month, we are thinking about these pastimes. And here is Andal introducing that to Krishna, back to him, reminding him. So let us see this verse today. Very famous verse, and there are so many topics to be discussed here. ஒருத்தி மகனாய் பிறந்து ஓரிரவில் ஒருத்தி மகனாய் ஒளித்து வளரத் தரிக்கில்லன் அகித்தன் திங்கு நினைந்த கருத்தை பிழைப்பித்து கஞ்சன் வயத்தில் நெருப்பென்ன நின்ன நெடுமாலே உன்னை அறுத்தித்து வந்தோம் பறை தருதையில் திருத்தக்க செல்வமும் செவ்வகமும் எம்பாடி வருத்தமும் திருந்து மகிழ்ந்தேலோர் எம்பாவாய். So very wonderfully, Andal is using these two words which you see on your screen, that Urutti. Urutti means one of the women. So here she is saying, Urutti Mahanai Pirandu Oriravil, Urutti Mahanai Ulittu Valara. She uses this word O again and again. Urutti, Ulitta, Or. In this way, she uses these words. It's very difficult to find a similar word in Sanskrit. However, these words are very popular in Tamil. What is the meaning of this first two lines? She says that Krishna, you appeared or you took birth from a great woman who is known as Devaki. But she doesn't use the name Devaki here. She just says, you were born to a great woman, one of the greatest women. Who is that greatest woman? We all know it is Devaki. And in the same night, the night that you were born, and on the same night, you went to another great lady under whom you grew. So who is the other lady under whom Krishna grew? And he was growing under that lady, under the care and under the motherly care of that lady, in a full clandestine fashion, in a full hidden fashion. Nobody knew that he appeared in the prison to none other than Devaki. But the beauty of this two lines of this verse is that Andal never uses the name of the two personalities. So, my dear devotees, Krishna appeared first as the son of which greatest woman, which Andal is mentioning here? First
is Devaki.
Devaki. And then on the same night, he went to another
Yashoda
woman's
Mata.
care, Yashoda. So the first Urutti is for Devaki, and the second Urutti, that means one of the greatest women, is Yashoda. So here she utilizes these two words for describing Devaki and Yashoda. Now a question might come in our mind, why can't she just use the names? Devaki Mahanai Pirandu. That means you were born as the son of Devaki. Oriravil Yashodai Mahanai Olittu Valara. In that same night, you went and hid yourself in Vrindavan and you grew up as the son of Yashoda. She could have said it like this. So there should be some strong reason why Andal is actually not using these words of the mothers, Devaki and Yashoda.
Out of respect for the in-laws?
Correct. Number one is absolutely right. But then in the previous verses, she has mentioned Yashoda's name. In fact, the first and second and third, Yashodai Ilai Singam. She says that he is the little cub of Yashoda. So she has mentioned the name of Yashoda. In fact, she has also named Nanda Maharaj's name in many verses. Nanda Gopalan Kumaran. That means she says that he is the Kumar, he is the son of Nanda Gopa. And she has also mentioned the name of father-in-law at many places, how he carries the spear, how he protects Krishna. So the in-law's name has been mentioned by Andal. However, the answer is correct. She doesn't want to call out the names of the in-laws in front of the husband. All those times, Krishna was not in front of them. And in most of the times, when the father in law was there in front also, she was not addressing him directly, or Yashoda was not being addressed directly. It was an indirect mention. But now she is telling these verses to none other than Krishna. And she has to take the references of the mothers of her husband, whom she seeks as her husband, who is Krishna. So Andal here wants Krishna as her husband, and it would be inappropriate from an etiquette point of view to address the mother of husband, who is your mother-in-law, by name. So she doesn't want to call out the name of the mother-in-laws right in front of the husband. So hence she says Urutti, one of the greatest women. And we all know it is Devaki. But this is not the only reason, because Andal's every word that she uses in her prayers has got many, many meanings. One of the reasons that she thinks is that if I speak out very loudly that Devaki's son, who appeared in the prison, on that same night, he transferred himself to Vrindavan, and in a hidden way, he is growing up as the son of Yashoda. Maybe Kamsa will hear it. Prabhuji, but we said that Andal is saying this in Kali Yuga. Kamsa was in Dwapar Yuga. So Kamsa is long dead. But as per Andal, she is living the life of Vrindavan. She thinks she is in Dwapar Yuga. She believes Krishna and she's seeing Krishna face to face. And she believes the threat is still real. So she feels that if she calls out the name of Devaki and Yashoda, maybe Kamsa will hear and get to know, oh, Devaki's son, who was Krishna, whom I am searching for, the eighth son of Devaki, is now hiding and living as the son of Yashoda. Send all the enemies. So by my prayer, my verses, my kavita, my verses in Tirupavai, this might bring harm to Krishna. No, I will not allow this to happen. I, as a lover of Krishna, will not allow any difficulties to come to Krishna. So she is trying not to say the names of Devaki and Yashoda in order to protect Krishna from the wrath of Kamsa. Though Kamsa's era has been completed long before, but for the devotee, she feels that this might bring some difficulty to Krishna, and I will not be the person who will bring difficulties to Krishna. So it's very important for us to understand that there are many, many reasons why she does not address the name of Yashoda and Devaki. Another reason is that when you go to a very popular place, let us say you come to Bhakti Sangha Japa group call, and then you say that you do not know the name of a particular Mataji or Prabhuji, but you know that that Mataji or Prabhuji is undertaking that service very nicely of welcoming everybody on the call, or narrating Bhagavad Gita shlokas very nicely, reciting the shlokas very nicely, or asks questions or anchors properly, and everybody knows the name. So you don't have to specifically call out the devotee's name. Even if somebody says that, you know, that Mataji or Prabhuji who recites the shlokas very nicely, everybody will know who it is. You know that Mataji or Prabhuji who narrates Krishna or Rama's pastimes nicely, everybody will know the person whom it is. Similarly, in Vrindavan, where these gopis are standing, when they say that, you know that mother who is one amongst many, who is great, and who is Krishna's mother, everybody knows that they are talking about Yashoda. And similarly, before the night he came to Vrindavan, he was the mother of none other than, he was the son of none other than Devaki. When they mention that that great mother, everybody knows that she is talking about Devaki. So, indirect reference of the women who are greater than the greatest, directly the people know that the reference is given to none other than Devaki and Yashoda. So, it is a known fact. It is an absolutely known fact that when you say Urutti Mahanai Piranda, they are talking about none other than Devaki. And Urutti Mahanai Ulittu Valara, he was hiding and he was living, and that is none other than Mother Yashoda. So, this is the third reason. So, the first reason is not to call out mother in law's name in open, out in open. Second is maybe Kamsa will hear and get to know the truth. In fact, we see such a kind of Vatsalya also in Gargamuni's part. Gargamuni, when he appeared before Nanda Maharaj and he wanted to name the two children, he was sent by Vasudev. So he was the Purohita, the person who comes keeping your interest up in front and is a well-wisher for you. He is known as Purohita. And he is the harbinger of good news. He is the harbinger of all the welfare, wonderful fortune, etc. So Gargacharya, when he came, he wanted to name the children as Krishna and Balram. He wanted to name him as Krishna and Sankarshan. However, he didn't want to do it this openly. And he said that let us do it in a very hush-hush manner so that not many people will get to know. And Nand Maharaj said, yes, we should do it in the Goshala. And he said that not more than 6 years should hear the names because then it will become a broadcast. If 6 years, Shat Vidadat Karnet Mantraha, if the mantra or if the name is held between the 6 years, then it is considered as private or secret. The minute it becomes more than 6 years, then it becomes a public message. Hence, it is not a secret. It becomes a broadcast. So that is why even Gargacharya, he requested Nanda Maharaj to conduct the performance of the Namkaran, to keep the naming ceremony of Krishna and Balaram in a cowshed. Why? Fearing that this news will spread to Kamsa. Similarly, here Andal also wants to ensure that she doesn't want to name the mothers so that his cover should not be blown. So, from that perspective, the third reason was that second reason was Kamsa's fear. Third reason was it was a known fact that the greatest of the great women were none other than Devaki and Yashoda. The fourth reason is that she says Urutti Mahanai and she doesn't use the name is out of sheer respect. The sheer respect towards Devaki and Yashoda, nobody can be like them. In fact, one of the Acharya says very beautifully, what was the color of Devaki when she gave birth to Krishna? The color of Devaki was very beautiful to look at. How? What was the color? They say that the color of Devaki became from whitish to completely silver in color. What is this color? Silver color. Because she changed. Generally, when the women have a baby in their womb, their skin color changes because now they are hosting a baby in their womb. And because of that, and because of the happiness, and because of change of diet, and because of change of hormones and everything, the color changes. And same was the case for Devaki. And how did Devaki's color change? Because she was holding Krishna in the womb, and Krishna's color is black. But Krishna was holding Srivatsa in his chest, who is none other than Mahalakshmi. So she was golden in color. So there was black, and on black there was golden color, and along with that, Devaki had full reddish palms, reddish legs, etc. So there was red. So the red, black, gold, along with whiteness of Devaki, when all of them mixed together, she turned silver. So in this way, Vedanta Deshika says such a great personality Devaki is that her color changed to silver. And when silver, Devaki got this beautiful baby out of her womb, and this baby had all the golden ornaments. So there was silver and there was also gold. So both the shubham, both the wonderful auspicious activities could be seen by Devaki. So out of respect, such a great personality like Devaki, and she is also great. Why she is great? She is great because of a very simple factor, that she is one amongst the greatest of women, because let us think about it. The person or the supreme personality who had created this entire cosmic manifestation was now lying down in her belly, was going to appear from her womb. So such a great personality like Kausalya Mata, like many others, Devaki is considered one of the greatest of women because she gave birth to none other than Krishna, who is the cause of the entire cosmic manifestation and creation as such. So, this is Devaki. And what is the beauty of Devaki? She was the one who immediately instructed Krishna as soon as he appeared. What did she instruct? When she saw Krishna appeared in the prison, and how did he appear? We all know this beautiful shloka in 10th canto Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, 9th and 10th shloka. Tam adbhutam balak, tam adbhutam balakam, ambujekshanam, chaturbhujam, shanka gadadi udhyaduram, Srivatsalakshmam, Galashaubi kaustukam, Pitambaram, Chandrapayoda saubhukam, Maharaha Vaidurya Kirita Kundala, Tushap Parishwakta Sahasra Kuntalam, Uddhamaganchi, Angada Kanakanadhibhir Virochamanam Vasudeva Aikshata. The last two words are very, very important. Vasudeva Aikshata. Vasudeva had a look at this beautiful baby. Tam Adbhutam Balakam. Adbhutam Balakam. He was a wonderful. Balakam means child. Ambujekshanam. How was his? His eyes were resembling as lotus. Chaturbhujam. He had four-handed form. Shanka Gadadi Uddhitam. Shanka, that he was having a conch shell. He was having a club. He was having a disc. He was having a lotus. Along with that, Srivatsa Lakshman. He was having all these different weapons. Along with that, he was having a special particular type of hair called as Srivatsa. That means Lakshmi was on his chest. Galashaubi Kaustubam, the Kaustuba money was on his neck. Pitambaram, he was having a beautiful Pitambar dhoti. Chandrapayoda Shaubhukam, and he was very pleasant to look at. And he was very beautiful, and he had this hue of blackish clouds. Maharaha Vaidurya Kirita Kundala. What are the things he had? His helmet and earrings, which were studded with very valuable Vaidurya gems. Trisha, and it was very beautiful for him. Trisha Parivashta Sahasra Kuntalam, brilliantly illuminated, and he was scattered with a very beautiful hair. All this was there. Uddhama Kanchi Angada Kanakhadibir, that he had a beautiful belt on his waist, and he had armbands, and he had arms and bracelets on his wrists, and he was very beautifully decorated. And at the end it says Vasudeva Aikshata. Vasudeva, the father of Krishna, saw all this. Now the beauty here is in Srimad Bhagavatam, why is Shukdev Goswami saying Vasudeva Aikshata? He's saying, Parikshit Maharaj, I did not see it. Vasudeva saw it. Vasudeva Aikshata. Vasudeva saw it. Parikshit Maharaj, I did not see this scene. But I am narrating this to you. Vasudeva beautifully saw this beautiful boy with Kavacha, Kundala, and the Pitambara and the Shankh Chakra Gada. Okay, this is very wonderful. Why does Krishna appear and why are we saying that Devaki is a great mother? What is the connection with Devaki? This is all connection with Krishna. But what is the connection with Devaki in this? Devaki is such a great mother that she got to see a son who is fully equipped. That means generally when a son or a baby is born in the maternity ward, immediately the nurses or the doctors, or if a baby is born in the house, they will immediately go and get a cloth and wrap the baby. And sometimes the cloth will be very soiled because of all the juices and all the secretions and everything which is coming out of the mother's womb. So they will get a very bad cloth. So that, in fact, it is sterile, but at the same time, it can be easily disposable. It will not going to be the cloth which the baby is going to wear for a long time. However, when this pregnancy was happening for Devaki, she is in a prison house. Where will she get sterile clothes? Where will she get clean clothes? Where will she get a baby napkin? Or where will she get the diapers? There is no place to get anything. So Krishna said, don't worry, I'll come with my Pitambar dhoti. And generally it is an old cloth, right? This Pitambar dhoti, I'm wearing it for so many millenniums. So many yugas I've been wearing this Pitambar dhoti. When I went to Gajendra, I was wearing Pitambar. When I go to the Ras Leela, I will be wearing the Gitambar. When I come to Vrindavan, I will be wearing Pitambar. When I appeared also, I was wearing Pitambar. So I am wearing this yellow cloth, yellow garment. You don't need to worry. But my hands are tied. My hands are completely tied. My legs are tied with these chains. When Krishna appeared, those chains immediately broke. Which means to say that Devaki was relieved out of this entire cycle of birth and death when Krishna appeared. Krishna is like this. Krishna appears in the prison house completely free and he frees us. He first frees us and then gives us the darshan. It is not conditional. So she is very great. Then when the baby appears from the womb, it will start crying. But here Krishna is completely smiling, very beautiful smile. But still, if the baby cries, then they have to bring a rattler or they have to bring some toy which will ensure that the baby is completely attracted towards that toy. Krishna said, don't worry, I have brought my own toy because there is no toy shop available for you to go and purchase in this prison. What is the toy he brought? He bought his fidget spinner, Sudarshan Chakra. He can keep spinning it many times and it will act as a toy for this baby. And he also bought this conch, this very beautiful conch. Prabhuji, what will conch happen? We all know that the conch, or when you want to feed the baby initially, it can only take liquid diet. Sometimes sometimes the baby can only take some milk. So they have this small steel conch shaped spoon which they will feed to the baby, and if it is um, overflowing, they will just take, with the help of that spoon, they will feed it more, anything that they want to feed, be it the nutrients that they want to feed or the milk. So they will use this spoon. There is no spoon available in the prison. So Krishna said, don't worry, this conch is there. You can use it as a spoon and you can feed me if you want to feed. So Krishna bought the spoon. Krishna bought the fidget spinner, which is like a toy. Krishna bought himself the beautiful garment that he is supposed to. But here, a very beautiful another verse that we have to see is Sukdev Goswami says, Tam Adbhutam Balakam. Now, in Sanskrit, one can say Tam Adbhutam Balam. Balam means child. Why one has to say Balakam? Ka means Brahma. So some acharyas also mention that when Krishna appeared in the four-handed form, he also had from the navel a little small stalk. Now he is in a baby form. Of course, he is going to appear. And at that same time, what happened was from his navel was the beautiful stalk and also the lotus on which Brahma was sitting. Now you see the beauty, he had Srivatsa. So generally mothers have a tension or they have a worry that when Krishna appears or when the son has appeared, when he grows up, who will be the daughter-in-law? Who will catch the hand of my son? Krishna said, don't worry. Right when I am up here, I brought the daughter-in-law also. Who is that? Lakshmi is on my chest. And at the same time, after getting married, then there is another worry that what will happen? Will they get progeny or not? Krishna said, don't worry. Right now, I'm showing you your grandson also, who is none other than Brahma. Tam Adbhutam Balakam. Ka also stands for Brahma. So in that way, Adbhuta, what a beautiful. Devaki is that personality who got to see Krishna in such a way that she got to see her daughter-in-law, she got to see her son, and she got to see her grandson right when her son appeared. So this is the greatness of Devaki in this beautiful, beautiful way. And hence, this is mentioned that she is one of the greatest women. So she doesn't want to take the name out of respect. So she says, Urutti, that great woman to whom you appeared. Who is that great woman? None other than Devaki. But she says, all of these are glories about Devaki. I have to also speak about the glories of the other lady who is Yashoda. And what to speak about her? She is so great that on the day of Ashtami and Rohini, when the Jayanti happened, and which we call as Sri Jayanti, that on that same night, you transferred yourself to none other than Vrindavan, Gokul. And in Gokul, you were the son of that great woman known as Yashoda. Now, how great is Yashoda? She is one amongst the many. Here we can do a simple comparison between Dasharatha and Yashoda Maya. Dasharatha, when he conducted the Putra Kameshti Yajna, he did one yajna, but how many sons he got out of that yajna? He got 4. Ram, Bharat, Lakshman, Shatrugna. So one yajna became 4 personalities. But look at the bhagya, look at the fortune of Yashoda. 4 people did tapasya, she got Krishna. Who are these 4 people? None other than Devaki and Vasudev, Vrishni and Sutapa in their previous life. 4 of them, and even Nand Maharaj and Yashoda in her previous life, they were worshipping Krishna. They were worshipping and wanting the Lord. And in this way, Vrishni, Sutapa, Devaki, Vasudev, 4 of them prayed especially for Krishna, and she got Krishna. So in this way, 1 became 4 for Dasharatha, but 4 became 1 for Krishna, for Yashoda. How great she is. So Yashoda is great. But she is not great only for that. She is great because our Krishna is generally outside Vrindavan as Narsingadev. He could have appeared from anywhere. He could have appeared from the pillar. He could have appeared from any molecule or atom which is inside the prison house. But this is Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, when he appears, he cannot face even the wrath of Mother Yashoda. So in the Damodar pastime also we see that as long as Mother Yashoda is holding the stick in her hand, Krishna never even looks at her. Now there are many meanings for this part of the section of Damodar Leela. That Yashoda is so great that she can bind even the Lord and she can chase behind her own son who is feared by even fear personified. But that fear personification, whom he is fearing from, that is Krishna, is fearing from a little bit of small stick which is in the hand of Maya or Yashoda. So that personality, Yashoda, when she picks up the stick, Krishna is constantly crying. Krishna is thinking to himself. Krishna is thinking, what should I do? Generally, the Stri or the women in Sanskrit, they are called as Abala. Abala means one who is having lesser strength. And when that Abala Stri has become too powerful, why? Because she has picked up this little stick in her hand. And when such a lady who is generally strengthless has become very strong because she has picked up a small bit of a stick in her hand. So then Krishna also thinks, I should also show my strength. And hence, for a little child, for a baby, what is the strength? Crying. So Krishna says, Maya, if you are going to show strength, I will also show my strength. Rudantam muhurnetra yugmam mrijantam karamboja yugmena shatanka netram muhushwasakampa trirekanka kanta sitagreva damodaram bhaktibaddam. Says the second verse, where he starts to cry, he starts to pant heavily. Now, this is the same Krishna who can appear like Nrsingadev, Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvathor Mukham. But let us look at our Krishna and let us look at this verse. Is he Ugram? Is he very fearful? Is he very fierce? No, he is crying. He is very worried about the stick when it is going to land on his hand. And when is he going to get punished? So he is not Ugram, he is very Shantam. He is very quiet and very afraid. Is he Veeram? No, he was the one who was running ahead. He is not a valorous person. He is running from a small stick with Mother Yashoda for stealing butter. So he is neither Veeram, he is neither Ugram. So Ugram Veeram, Mahavishnu. Is he like Mahavishnu with such a big stature? No, he is Lagu Vishnu. He is such a small boy. So in Vrindavan, he is not Mahavishnu. He is not Ugram. He is not Veeram. Okay, but then he is there everywhere. Jwalantam Sarvathor Mukham. His face can be seen everywhere. Sarvathor Mukham. He is there, present everywhere. If his face can be seen everywhere, why is he not facing Mother Yashoda? He is looking away from Mother Yashoda. He is not ready to even see her face to face. So he is not Sarvathor Mukham also. So in this way, Yashoda made Krishna lose his attributes. And that is Vrindavan Krishna. That Krishna who was also thinking, I will not look at mother as long as she is holding the stick. In other ways, Harisuri says, and very beautifully, that as long as we are attached with material nature, with asat, or one which is not having consciousness, or one as long as we are enamored by this material world, Krishna will not pay attention. The minute Yashoda puts down the stick, that means she has let go of the stick. Of course, everything in Vrindavan is having consciousness, but this is just utilized as an example. So the minute Yashoda puts down the stick, Krishna is completely looking at her now and paying attention. So in this many ways, all these pastimes happened in Vrindavan, and we could see this. We could see it again and again, and you were hiding yourself. Olittu Valara, you were hiding yourself from Kamsa. But let me also tell you, you were hiding a very biggest reason. What is that reason? People think that you came to Vrindavan to be with that great woman who is none other than Mother Yashoda. You came to be with her because you were afraid of Kamsa. Shah, I will not say like this. Such a great personality. If you want, you can kill Kamsa at any given point of time. Even sitting in Golok Vrindavan, if you just think what to say, before you even think, Kamsa can die. But that is not the reason why you hoodwinked yourself from Mathura and you came to Vrindavan. That is not the reason. I say hoodwink, not because Krishna hoodwink. He came under the hoods of Anantashesh in a tokri with Vasudev. So he came under the hoods of Anantashesh. He came and he came to Vrindavan not because you were afraid of Kamsa. Your real reason was to give us all the pleasure. We gopis. You actually came to give us pleasure. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Vinashaya cha dushkritam is secondary reason. The first reason is you came here to give utmost pleasure to your gopis. And hence, here we are right in front of you. Uritti mahanai pirandu orirabil uritti mahanai olittu valara. How much they glorify the two ladies who are none other than Yashoda and Devaki. So this is the greatness of these two verses, and it is known very wonderfully in those circles. And they say that the beauty is that why did you appear? On that very night after your birth, you became the son of Yashoda, and she is the lady of unequaled glory whom you enjoyed all your divine playful pastimes in Vrindavan. And how did you grow up in Gokul? You grew up very secretly. Why you grew up very secretly? Because that wicked person known as Kamsa. You know, Kamsa, he had a lot of enviousness against you, and he was completely evil against you. He had a lot of thoughts to kill you. That is why he sent Putana, Trinavrata, Shakatasura, Kapittasura, Vatsasura, Ariktasura, Aghasura, Bakasura. Seems like I'm saying a Sahasranam of Asuras. He sent so many Asuras again and again and again just to kill a small boy, just to kill a small baby. This is too much. In fact, even at the end, he had many different plans. He called you to battle in the arena in Mathura. And before you came, he arranged Kuvalya Pitha, the elephant. His plan A was, he showed to the entire city of Mathura that he was welcoming his cousins. And he's a very dotted uncle who is welcoming. In fact, there were flexes of Krishna and Balram coming to Mathura. There were big posters of Krishna and Balram. But he had given all the plans to Kuvalya Pita and the Mahout, thinking that Kuvalya Pita will kill Krishna and Balram, and he will show in front of Mathura Vasis that this was not the intention. The mad elephant actually killed Krishna and Balram, and he could feign his ignorance. But if Kuvalya Pita failed, he had plan B. And the plan B was to install Chanura and Mushtika. And he could have always, he thought that he can tell this to Mathura Vasis, that the play became serious and they were supposed to do Dvanda Yuddha, and it became serious, and somehow Chanura and Mushtika killed Krishna and Balram. And he had plan C, that even if that fails, I will kill Krishna and Balram with my own hands, with my own sword. So in this way, he had time and time again, he was burning in enviousness. His mind was completely deluded with envy and hatred. And he again and again created so much of evil plots, and he was harboring many evil schemes within himself. And this is his enviousness. So what did you do? You picked up each and every envy. You picked up each and every envy. Neruppenna ninna nedumale. You picked up first enviousness towards you as envy number 1, envy number 2, envy number 3. And then what did you do? We were also burning. Just like how he was burning in enviousness, we were burning in separation. So you took all the burning sensation of our separation number 1 from Gopi number 1, separation number 2 from Gopi number 2, like that separation number 5 lakh from Gopi number 5 lakh. You took all this separation fire and you combined it together, and you said, in the stomach of Kamsa, or in the heart of Kamsa, this enviousness fire is burning. In these heart, the separation fire is burning. Fire and fire, they burn together. So you sent all the fire of burning from our hearts into Kamsa's heart. So did Kamsa become a great devotee? No, because he had envious eyes. This enviousness burnt him completely. And this is how you protect us. This is how you take care of us. And this is how you are our Krishna. And this is how you are such a great son that immediately when mother said, hide your extra 2 hands and become like a Prakrita Shishu, says Sukhdev Goswami, just like a normal child, just become a small baby, you immediately accepted the instruction of Mother Devaki. What to speak of Lord Ramchandra? It took him 24 years. At the age of 24, when Dasharath Maharaj said, you go to the forest, he accepted. What about you? Not even 24 seconds, milliseconds. Even when you were appearing in the Karagra, in the prison, and when Devaki said you should hide your hands, you immediately hid your hands. So this is your glory, and this is the glory of Devaki. Such a wonderful pastimes. And you came to Vrindavan only to give us pleasure. You came to Vrindavan to steal butter. You came to Vrindavan to steal our hearts. And you stole butter in so many different ways, and this is your glory. So, knowing that you are always affectionate towards us, we are always seeking your protection. Krishna said, okay, okay, fine. Why did you come? My question was, you're glorifying me enough. You're glorifying my mother. You're glorifying all these personalities. I agree. But tell me, why have you arrived? They said, the real reason I will tell in 29th and 30th verse, the last two verses. But we have come here to sing your glories. And you are right now here, and we have come here to ask for the drum, ask for parai, and ask for our cherished boon. What is your boon? Our boon right now is to get the drum so that we can do Nam Sankirtan. We can do Kirtan of your names. We can sing Kirtans of your entire pastimes that you have performed. We shall sing glorious of your supreme might. And we shall even sing about the Srivatsa, about Mother Lakshmi. We shall sing glories about Napinnai. We shall sing glories about your consort. And we shall sing glories about that prime gopi who is very fond of you. And in this, what will you get by doing all this? Will all your interests be fulfilled? They say that by doing so, our distresses will vanish and we shall be always rejoicing in bliss. Of course, this is true. One who picks up this Mahamantra, one who picks up the devotional service during the month of Kartik, one who is always thinking about the Lord and engaging in his worship, for him, where there is distress, there is no distress. It is only a blissful rejoicing and very anandham buddhivardhanam. It only gives more and more pleasure in the heart of the devotees. So by doing so, varuttamam tindu magindelo rembavai, all our varuttam, which means all our distress, goes away. It doesn't go away, it will just vanish. And we shall be completely blissful. So, all you girls, we have come here to ask him for the drum. We have been glorifying him. Why are you all quiet? Let us all sing together. Let us all sing the glories of none other than Krishna, who was born to that great lady who is known as Devaki, who in the same night he hid himself and he came to Vrindavan and was the foster child of that great lady, Yashoda. And while he grew secretly in Goloka, Kamsa could not bear the constant plotted evil against you. He sent so many demons. He had enviousness. Similarly, we were burning in separation. You took all the burning from our heart and you sent it into the heart of Kamsa. And you actually appeared in Vrindavan not to kill Kamsa. Went to Mathura not to kill Kamsa, but the real reason is to give pleasure to all us gopis. And hence, we are here to ask from you the beautiful drum by which you give it to us, and we shall constantly sing your glories and narrate your greatest pastimes. This is our entire wish. So, in this way, Andal strings this beautiful pasuram or this verse together where Krishna's transfer is being spoken about. Remember, I spoke about Srila Prabhupada mentioning about the high rises. And he said it is a mechanical prison. Of course, when we read all of this, we can understand in today's verse how Srila Prabhupada's mention of the skyscrapers as a mechanical prison is so apt, and it is not out of turn. We are talking about the village girls of Vrindavan. They are so simple. They like curd, milk, butter, and they know only Krishna. They don't want biggest of skyscrapers and material opulences. They are only happy where there is Krishna and his pastimes are glorified. His kirtans are glorified. So where Krishna is not there, And even if we are reaching the highest tenets or the highest floors of material success, which is like a skyscraper, the gopis think it is a prison. And at the same time, material success was on Kamsa's mind. And hence, material successes can be like a prison. However, Krishna can appear in those prisons and also let us escape from that prison. So even if we are in skyscrapers, we should consider that it is as a prison. But in those prisons, if we are glorifying Krishna, then we can change that prison into that Mathura's prison, and where Krishna appeared beautifully. So in this way, we see that material progress is not the real progress. In this Kartik, in this Damodar month, the progress is really internal in nature, where we understand Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's glories, Krishna's beautiful activities in Vrindavan, which we are very fortunate to read in Krishna book and Srimad Bhagavatam. His special pastimes of his childhood pastimes, all these are the ones which are the real wealth for the Vaishnavas. So in this way, Andal is singing the glories. What will she say next? That we have to wait post Kartik in the Margasirsha month to realize it much further. Thank you very, very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We will quickly see some of the photographs where we see, and you can unmute and say, who is the lady who is lying down and who is the lady who is holding Krishna? Who is this Uruti and who is this Uruti? Who is that great lady who is lying down and who is the lady who is holding Krishna? One who is lying down. Who is she?
Devaki?
Devaki. Why? Because she is having her hands and legs tied. Very good. And this is? Yes, Devagan Prabhu.
Yashoda.
Yashoda. Very nice. You can see this. What is the
That
top
is
pastime?
Devaki ji, like
Yeah,
when Krishna showed her the four-handed form as soon as he was born.
perfect. Second one, anybody else? Who is this with this elephant? We spoke about it.
Kamsa.
Kamsa with Kovalya Pita. Very nice. Yes.
That
Who
is
is
Yashoda
this?
Mata and Krishna.
Damodar. Very good.
Yeah.
And now,
Damodar.
yes. And here he is, Krishna in Vrindavan. Very good.
Yeah.
This one?
Devaki in prison.
Yeah. And we see that the chains are open. If you look at this, the chains are open. So when Krishna appears, the chains completely get opened. We are not bonded anymore. And here there is a rope, and here the chains are open, but here he is going to get chained by the rope.
Yes.
So wonderful. And finally, here Andal is saying, you have chained us by your love in Kali Yuga, where he is sitting on the Simhasan and they are putting his plea in front of him. So such a nice way Keshav has shown all the three pastimes together. Another one here. This is also very beautiful. Here we see what they have come to ask for. So this is like the banyan tree leaf, and he has come as the beautiful boy with four-handed form, and they are asking what? They are asking this drum from him so that they can constantly sing his glories. So he has a scepter also, which he holds, on which Garuda is sitting. What is Kamsa doing here?
He's burning out of envy and pain.
Yeah, because all the heat from all the gopis have been sent into his stomach.
Yeah.
They say consolidate all that heat and send it to his stomach, because he's the one who is burning in envy. Right? And you see here Devaki Vasudev, and then immediately he goes to Yashoda. And this beautiful Napunai and Krishna is seated on the Simhasan, and they're hearing this. same pastimes in various different ways. This is showcased. Yashoda and Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. If you have any questions, comments, clarifications, discussions, we can discuss. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Please accept my humble obeisance and our best to Srila Prabhupada. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. Very nicely, beautifully explained. Like why Andal calls Devaki Mata and Yashoda Mata as Urutti, like out of respect, out of protecting, like you have given reasons, like out of respect that to Lord Krishna, that they should not call in-laws name, and out of like they had the concern to protect Krishna, that they wanted to protect Krishna from miscreants and evil, and doesn't want to remove that cover under which he is, under the protection he is. And again you explained that they call them as Uruti out of respect for the in-laws.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. Prabhuji, like in between you're explaining about, you're comparing Yashoda Mata with Dashrath Maharaj. That part I missed a little bit, Prabhuji. Can you please brief it?
So, sure, Mataji. Dasharath Maharaj did one yajna and he got 4 sons. He got Ram, Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrughna. So, one effort, 4 sons. However, in Krishna's case, 4 people put the effort. Vasudev, Devaki, and in their previous life, Prishni, Sutapa. Like that, they put their effort, 4 of them, and they got 1 son. So 1:4 in the first one, 4:1 here. And they saw God as Krishna. So 1 to 4 is great, but then 4 people's effort all condensed into 1, that is Krishna.
Yeah, got it.
So
Prabhuji.
that is what.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And later on, like you explained about how Andal was mentioning about Krishna being protected, and how Kamsa being envied, due to envy, how he's burning, and all the separation, the burn, like the fire of separation of the gopis was transferred to Kamsa by Krishna, and he was burning with envy towards Krishna. And at the end, like they were telling to Lord that they are, when Krishna asks why you are here, then they are telling to Krishna that they want one thing, that is the Ram to do his Sankirtan, to and you nicely compared, like gopis, they don't want great skyscrapers, but they want the protection of Krishna, which you connected to Srila Prabhupada's quote today. That was really good, Prabhuji. Very eye-opening and insightful. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Dear devotees, if anyone has any questions or realizations, please go ahead and ask Prabhuji.
Yes, Sudhakar Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Very nice
Pranam.
session. Last session I missed for some reason. I could not. I really feel regrettable. I think I have one question and of course one realization. I think what
Yes.
I learned from this session at least is one has to really glorify anybody before asking them directly. This is one thing out I learned. Even it applies in our practical life. I think,
Yes.
Prabhuji, when we approach seniors or even parents, if you want, we don't ask directly them, right?
Yes.
I think if you try to convince them, it's a good lesson. I think that's one thing I learned from this. I could not understand the significance of that statement, Prabhuji. Like you said, Dasharatha Maharaj has done one vrat and he got God is four gods or 4 forms of the god, right? And then the 4 devotees, we can say, as a prayed, and then got one god. What actually is the significance of this comparison? But I'm not able to really.
So if somebody puts
God is
somebody puts full force and it gets split into 4, then the effort that you get at each of the end is less. So suppose you put 100 Newton of force and it is split into 4. So it could be either 25, 25, 25, 25. It could be different percentages. So each of the individual units are lesser than the force applied. However, how she is mentioning is, but 4 people put 100 newtons, you got 400 newtons at the end, which is greater. The second one. So she's saying one effort by Dasharath Maharaj became 4, but 4 people's effort became 1. Unity is strength. So that way.
The other way, so maybe if you try to apply the same mathematical analogy, 4 people, 4 devotees, same like Dasharath is a devotee. I'm just
Yes.
thinking, I'm not trying to, what do you
Yeah,
call counterpart. If Dasharath, we consider him as a devotee and he has done this prayer, yes, you got to say, let's say, the God in the 4 forms or this thing. Then 4 devotees, it should be 4 multiplied by 4, 16, right? But
No, it is not about the split here where the Kavi is mentioning. The poet is mentioning about the effort. That means, for example, even as a son, they say that he is made in the splitting image of the father. So the sons are the splitting image of the father. But here, not only one parent, both parents. So the love of both parents combined together over 2 times. So 4 of them come together as Krishna. So one is single parent, his love split amongst 4. Of course, there is Kausalya also, there is Sumitra, and there is Kaikeyi. All that is there. But in a verse of how the poets would like to glorify, they say that one effort became 4, but effort of 4 people, their condensed love became Krishna. And when we want to glorify Lord Ramchandra, we will use the same example the other way, just like how you mentioned. So it is, we would like to worship the Lord as per time, place, and circumstances, glorify Him. And this was their gopis' way of appreciating Krishna's appearance.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sudhakar Prabhuji. That was very nice realization that you told.
Yes.
That like before asking anything, we need to, like especially in front of Lord, yes, we need to first praise Him, and then only we can humbly ask Him. Similar way we do with if we want anything with our parents. So yeah, that was nice realization. Dear devotees, do you have any more questions or realizations?
Okay. Thank you.
Everyone
Thank you,
is
Mataji.
telling like it's a beautiful class, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All glory to
Mataji and
Shri
Devgan Mataji and
All glory to Shri
Revati
Prabhupada.
Mataji. Yes, sure, Prabhuji. So with your permission, so can I
Sure, Mataji.
end the
When we'll
call,
meet,
Prabhuji?
we'll continue the sacred vow of Margasirsha after Kartik now. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So you are not available for next few weeks, Prabhuji?
Next few weeks, I'm not available. I'm traveling next few weeks.
Okay, sure, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So devotees, let us pay our humble obeisances to Prabhuji. So Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anantkoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, His Grace Haridas Varyadas Prabhuji ki Jai.
Jai Shri
We will
Prabhupada.
be
Thank
missing
you.
your
Hare
the
Krishna.
Thank you,
classes
Prabhuji.
for
Hare
next few
Krishna,
weeks
Prabhuji.
and looking
Hare
forward
Krishna.
to your association, Prabhuji.
Thank you, everyone.